Is it justifiable to consume live monkey brains? This is a question that has sparked intense debates worldwide, shining a spotlight on the clash between cultural practices and animal rights. Diving deep into the heart of this controversy, we find ourselves in regions where the consumption of live monkey brains is a long-standing tradition. Rooted in centuries-old customs, these practices are more than just an exotic culinary adventure. For the indigenous tribes and communities involved, it's a rite of passage, a symbol of courage, and a testament to unity. Yet this is not a tradition that everyone can stomach. Animal rights activists argue that these practices are cruel and inhumane. The thought of an animal subjected to significant distress for the sake of gastronomic pleasure is a bitter pill to swallow, raising serious questions about our responsibility towards the welfare of all living creatures. In a world increasingly aware of animal rights and ethical treatment, the balance between respect for cultural practices and ethical considerations is a delicate one. Just because a tradition exists, does it mean we should continue to uphold it, especially if it causes harm or suffering? Critics argue that these practices present an opportunity for education and reflection. They suggest that through open and respectful dialogue, we can promote compassion, advocate for animal rights, and foster a deeper understanding of diverse cultural practices. Yet, these conversations need to be approached with sensitivity. It is all too easy to pass judgment without fully understanding the cultural significance of these traditions. So, where does this leave us? On one hand, we have a deeply ingrained cultural practice that holds significant meaning to certain communities. On the other, we have the ethical implications of causing unnecessary suffering to animals. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, highlighting the importance of ongoing dialogue and education. In conclusion, the debate around the consumption of live monkey brains brings to the forefront the intricate balance between cultural respect and ethical considerations. It underscores the need for sensitivity, understanding, and open dialogue when confronting such controversial practices. It's a reminder that while we may not always agree, it's crucial to approach these topics with an open mind and a respectful attitude.
Have you ever wondered how our dietary choices reflect our cultural practices? How do our meals, the very sustenance of life, echo our traditions, beliefs, and values? Take, for instance, the controversial practice of consuming monkey brains. In certain cultures, this is a traditional delicacy, a practice steeped in history and symbolism. However, it raises significant ethical questions. On one side of the coin, we have the respect for cultural traditions. The consumption of monkey brains may seem unusual, even shocking to many, but it's vital to remember that what is considered normal or acceptable can vary greatly from one culture to another. In some societies, this practice is a cherished ritual, a way of preserving a tradition that has been passed down through generations. It's a part of their identity, their heritage, their way of life. Flipping the coin over, we find ourselves face to face with the ethical implications of this practice. The welfare of animals is a universal concern, transcending cultural boundaries. The process of procuring monkey brains often involves inhumane treatment of these intelligent creatures. And that's a fact we cannot overlook. Furthermore, the consumption of raw or undercooked monkey brains carries significant health risks, including the transmission of diseases. So, where does this leave us? Caught in a tug-of-war between tradition and ethics, between cultural respect and universal values. This is not a debate to win or lose. It's a conversation, a dialogue that needs to happen. It's about finding a balance, a way to honor cultural practices without compromising ethics. It's about fostering understanding, empathy, and respect for diversity, while also advocating for the welfare of all living beings. In the grand scheme of things, the issue of eating monkey brains is just one example. It serves as a mirror, reflecting the broader conflicts and tensions that exist in a world as diverse and complex as ours. The key takeaway here is the importance of empathy, critical analysis, and open dialogue. We need to approach each other's traditions with curiosity and respect, but we also need to be willing to question, to discuss, and to seek alternatives when necessary. It's about striking a balance between preserving our cultural heritage and ensuring a compassionate, ethical future. It's a complex, challenging task, but it's a journey that we must undertake together for the sake of our shared world. In conclusion, the practice of eating monkey brains, like many other cultural practices, requires careful consideration and respectful dialogue. We must respect cultural traditions, but we must also consider the ethical implications and strive for a future where cultural diversity and ethical considerations can coexist harmoniously. The road to this future starts with education, empathy, and open dialogue. So, let's continue the conversation. Let's continue to learn, to question, and to grow. Together, we can build a future that respects both our cultural diversity and our shared ethics.